Wendy Williams has been in the news the last month or so, just over her being in a sober house and her reverting back to addiction and her going through whatever it is that she's going through with her husband. But today, or this week, I believe, or last week, I forget. So we all know that Wendy Williams, well, she's getting a divorce. If you don't know, Wendy Williams she hasn't come out herself to say that she's getting a divorce, but Page Six and a myriad of other news outlets have reported that Wendy Williams is going through the process of getting a divorce because of essentially everything that she has been going through with her husband, Kevin Hunter, I believe. So to fill you in real quick, he allegedly had a baby with his mistress, and he allegedly came out and told Wendy about this, and Wendy had a relapse. Is that what you call it? Had a relapse, went back to the sober house, because Wendy in the past has been open about her drug addiction. I didn't know she had a drinking addiction, but she talked about her drug addiction, her being in a sober house. And she has been open about that on her show. I want to point that out because Wendy has been open about specific stuff on her show. She hasn't been open about everything, which I can sort of kind of understand, you guys. And you let me know, because I'm just like, okay, Wendy, you're this talk show host and you go on your show and you say it like you mean it. And I'm a straight shooter and I talk about everyone else's business. But when it comes to my business, I'm mum and I don't talk about it. And I also get it like, okay, Wendy, you're not going to go on your own show and talk about yourself. But I'm like, I don't know. It is your show. You should talk about yourself. So a lot of the back and forth on social media is like, Wendy, are you going to talk about your husband? Are you going to talk about your mistress and its baby? Are you going to talk about your divorce? Like, Wendy, how are you coming on your show every day and acting like everything is A-okay and you're not addressing any of the issues that is going on with you, which I totally understand, because I'm just like, I haven't watched her show since, because I used to be a faithful watcher of Hot Topics, but I haven't watched her show because I'm a big proponent of transparency in the people who I consume content from. And if you aren't giving me that level of transparency, and if you aren't honest about your truth and you aren't giving me your truth, I don't want to watch you anymore. I don't feel comfortable watching you anymore. Your credibility is gone with me. So I would really like to know how you, Kimberlyn, and how the audience feels about someone like a Wendy Williams who, what's the question we talked about? What does it mean to be transparent?
That's all I'm sitting here thinking, like, so what does that mean?
So, because she hasn't been, meaning I'm not saying, are we expecting Wendy to come on and say, yes, my husband has been cheating on me. Yes, my husband has a mistress. Yes, my husband had a baby. Yes, I'm potentially going through divorce. Yes, we had a hard time. Yes, when I fractured my shoulder, it was because my husband pushed me down the stairs, allegedly. Yes, we've been going through physical. Like, how much transparency are we expecting from Wendy?
Right, that's my question.
Because but she goes on her show and she dishes that same level of grit and gossip about everyone else, but when it comes to her, it's just mum's the word. I'll give my opinion, but I would like to hear your opinion and everyone who's watching, your opinion. Like, what does it mean to be transparent? Like, what do you expect to hear from someone like a Wendy? Because Wendy is a diva in daytime. She's one of one Black women in daytime right now, and her credibility is shot with me. So, what, Kimberlyn, ladies, what do you think?
So, like, I've got so much to say.
God, her husband is ugly. I'm sorry. I know this is recorded, but he is so ugly and unattractive. Like, ugh.
So, two things. Okay, so first thing is, I don't feel like anybody owes anybody a conversation about their divorce. I don't expect anyone to ever be like you said, yeah, my husband had a baby on me. He did this, he did that. I don't expect for people to do that, especially when it's fresh. Like,
it's fresh.
Yeah,
Okay.
like she's right in the midst of it. So like even, I blog, and in my blog, like I've written about being in abusive relationships and like being abused when I was a child and all this kind of stuff, right? So I've written about that in my blog
Yes.
because I'm
Yeah.
healed from that. So I don't think that it's ever going to be healthy for somebody to talk about what they're going through currently when she's going through it currently.
Right.
And I
I
get
understand.
that she profits off of people's misfortune, and she would
Exactly.
absolutely report on somebody else's. And I think that that's gonna be a karma thing, but my expectation is not for her to then turn around and be like, so let me give you the tea on how I'm crying myself to sleep every night and how my
Yeah.
entire life is falling apart because I
Yeah.
never thought that I would be the news story, and now I'm the news story,
Yeah.
and I don't even know how to function on a
Yeah.
day-to-day basis. Like I
Right.
don't expect for that to happen. So then when you say what is transparency and what does it mean to be transparent, I feel like transparency again comes when you're healed. It means sharing and being vulnerable, but to a point. So I feel like I'm very transparent, yet there's still a lot of stuff that people don't know about me because I'm not
Hmm.
ready to talk about it yet, or I don't want to talk about it, and I don't have to. So I don't feel like anybody owes anybody else, celebrity or not, um an open door to their life. Even on a reality show, they show you a lot on reality shows. They don't show you everything. So they're showing you what they feel like they want to show you, and that's with anybody. So I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Can I just say before we get to the comments, you give and Wendy gives and Oprah gives. No, I'm sorry. Oprah and you give
Mhm.
just enough to make someone like me feel like you're telling the truth. You're
Mhm.
giving enough. You're giving just enough for me to
Mhm.
feel like Kimberly's giving me the truth.
Mhm.
Kimberly feels authentic. Oprah is giving me the truth. Oprah is feels authentic.
Mhm.
Um, Wendy's not. Like I could sift through the bullshit, and I'm pretty sure a lot of women who are watching Wendy on a daily basis can sift through the bullshit. You can tell when someone's feeding bullshit, just like Beyonce, and we'll get to her in a second.
Mhm.
But I can feel like I can feel Wendy glossing over what's going on in her life. So like recently on her show today, she says, I'm moving out of the sober house in just a few days. Williams, she also talked about it'll be Wendy on her own. And she said a few other things, but she gives just enough and says just enough for it to feel salacious and like she's giving you something, but you still feel like you're full of SHI. You're full of shit, Wendy. And like I said, I haven't watched her show for quite some time because I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a marketing or PR person and that's I don't know. You can tell, and people aren't stupid. You ladies aren't stupid. Kimberly, you aren't stupid. Christina, you guys aren't stupid. You can sense when somebody's feeding you crap.
Mhm.
And I just feel like Wendy's feeding me crap. Oprah isn't feeding me crap. Kimberly, and I don't feel like you're feeding me crap when you are talking about. You give just enough.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
But
That's
that's a
just me.
skill. That's a skill. It is a real skill in being able to
Yeah.
give people
Yeah.
enough that they feel like they know you, even though they don't. Like that's a real
Yeah.
skill. And it's something that I can say that I have honed. I am able to have conversations with people and share pieces of my life that make them feel like I have like confided my deepest, darkest secrets when you could do an internet search and find these things out, right? But there are also parts of my life that I have not shared. So I think the skill is in finding the things that you can share to let people in to a certain extent. But then it's really up to you when you're going to share the rest of it. I
Mm-hmm.
think the issue that I have is with the expectation that somebody is supposed to share. Even though you're profiting off of that for other people, that's the business that she's in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't think we can have an expectation of someone to share one of the most difficult times of their entire life, especially when they're in it at that moment. Like I don't see that
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
I
I
mean,
understand.
asking, and a reporter asked her something about it, if she was okay or something, and I believe she was like, I don't know. And that's a real answer. Like, I don't know. I am literally trying to just put one foot in front of the other. I don't know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
feeling because there's a lot to process and, work through and all that kind of stuff. So I don't like Wendy Williams. Let the record reflect. I don't like her at all.
Did I just say her husband is so unattractive? God, that picture is just
attractive is subjective. We'll have to do a show on that one time. But I feel like I can relate to what she's going through and would never want to revel in this situation, even though she has sown those seeds for other people. I just feel like that's not something that I want to do, So let me grab
our community say.
Let me grab some
I
of these
want to see what our community say.
Vanessa said, I feel like she's a strategist and will work this in her favor.
She is. She's been doing this for a minute, Vanessa. Like, she's been in radio. She's been doing this for a minute, so she's skilled. But I still feel like she's full of crap.
Yeah. Lanya says, to me, some people gossip to hide their truth. Melissa says she's deep in it every day. She may be ready to talk about it once she's processed it all.
That's a good comment, Melissa. I believe that maybe she can't talk about it now because she's going through, I don't know, litigation or whatever it is. You're right. She probably can't talk about it now. Yeah,
that's true. Erica says, so celebs don't owe us anything, but with Wendy, she's saying everybody else's business. So Annalise said, I felt a bit unsure of her not being honest about her truth, but you got to respect her boundaries to say certain things. People will judge, and to hear your own judgment is a big pill to swallow. I think in time she will be a bit more transparent. Tansy says, I don't care for Wendy's personality, or at least her TV persona, mainly because she dissed HBCUs a couple years back. But I'm glad she left him, if he did, as reported by news outlets. But it's her show, so she calls the shots. If she doesn't want to discuss on TV, then she doesn't have to. It pays to be the boss. Aisha says, I couldn't imagine how hard it must be to openly talk about yourself in that way on TV each day of the week without breaking down and without it turning into a therapy session for yourself. When she is talking about other people, that's part of her character on her show, and she is distant from that. But her stuff, she's in the moment, and that can't be easy to talk about.
Yeah, I agree. I would bawl. And Wendy's a crier. She'd probably cry. Yeah. She always cries when she talks about herself. Yeah, that's a good comment, Aisha.
Lakia said, he ugly and Wendy's a man. Next.
Lakia.
Christina said, right, celebrity or not, my business is my business. Tiffany says, I agree with you, Kimberland. Also, let's face it, she's not the only one who profits from gossip. She talks about info that's already public. She's not hiring people to dig dirt, to dig up topics.
Yeah, she doesn't give exclusives. She's not an exclusives person. She is always reporting from other people's sources. So yeah, I agree, Tiffany.
So Christina said, do you know Oprah to know what she's feeding us, though?
No, but I feel like I know Oprah. Because I feel like Oprah is on her social media. She's on her social media. She may have an assistant holding the camera, but she's talking to us, not at us. And she is on there often. And what I love about Oprah is every so often, she'll actually engage and talk to someone who made a comment on her page. I think that is super awesome for Oprah to do that. And for her to do that, and that is as small as it is. I think for Oprah to do that, someone on her level and her caliber to do that, it's an awesome gesture. It's an awesome PR gesture for Oprah to do.
But you know that Oprah is only sharing what she wants to share, though, right?
Yes, yes. We don't know if her and Stedman have gone through it, but her and Stedman probably have gone through it. But they've been together forever, and they're still together and not married. And she's openly talked about her not wanting to get married. She's talked about her mother and her relationship with her mother. She's talked about her relationship with her. Oprah has been very candid about her family.
Only with certain things.
Yeah, but I don't need to know about who raped who and how they raped who. We don't need to know all that stuff. But she's given us, the public, just enough for us to feel like we're in it with her and can empathize with her. And that's what I love about Oprah for me. And plus, her mom's from Milwaukee, which is where I'm from. So, I have a personal